So it's been a minute since I poked fun at a weird anime, and I figured since those are some of the most popular videos on my channel, playlist in the description, that I should go back into the weird anime gang. So I got to searching, and then I came across this. Full Dive, this ultimate next gen Full Dive RPG is even shittier than real life, or Full Dive for short. It's an isekai, and let's just say I'm not the biggest fan of most isekai, but I'm not going to be all pretentious and say that most isekai suck, because I don't think that's true. The reality of the situation is I'm just not the target demographic for most isekai. I always find it kind of funny how people like critique isekai anime by saying like, oh, it's so childish, and oh my goodness, this is like a 14-year-old's wet dream, and like, yeah, that's very true, because I mean that's usually like the audience they're trying to get. So that all being said though, Full Dive is a cool, kinda meta-ish at times isekai in its own right. It follows our main character Hiroshi, and his life is about exactly what you would expect from someone in this role. Straight dog water. To be honest, it's really not that bad, but he has the perception that it's complete dog water, and that he has one of the worst lives imaginable, because I mean, he's an angsty hormonal teen. A lot of us did back then. So yeah, we get introduced to him having a nice heart-to-heart with the school counselor, who is certainly something. To be honest, no cap, he is honestly a fitting representation of most high school counselors. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I could be just ragging on this role, but I genuinely feel like the average high schooler feels like their high school counselor did not do a goddamn thing for them. That could just be me though, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. Perception is not always reality, but it completely is. I had like 4 counselors in my school, and none of those niggas did anything, period. But whatever, besides the point. Going forward, so Hiroshi's all hyped because there's going to be a new installment of his favorite VR series that's coming out today, called a name that I can't really remember. It's not important. And he gets all hype, and he gets to the game store, and he's ready to buy it because he has it all pre-ordered, and he realizes that he does not have enough funds for said game. And then he thinks back and realizes that he accidentally gave too much money to the bullies, who unfortunately extort him on what seems like a regular basis. So on his disappointing walk home, he sees another game store and decides to check, which, by the way, this is like a complete shot in the dark, because this is not how games and the game market works. But he decides to check the other game store, and it's like, hey, maybe this new game that just came out is cheaper at this store, which, like, if you play games, you know that's just like not how game releases and pricing works, but whatever, it's fine. So he walks into the store, and then he sees a girl who's working there, and he asks the girl if they have the game, knowing that they probably don't. And the girl just lays into him about how shitty his game franchise is. And this is one of like the more meta moments where like she goes on like this whole rant about how like people who play games sometimes know that a game franchise is like dead, and the devs have no new ideas, but we consistently keep buying the game franchises over and over yearly, simply because we've done it so much that it's basically muscle memory at this point. And it's like, it's kind of funny, kind of, sort of, you know what I'm saying? It's like a joke that like you're not gonna see just made everywhere in all sorts of anime. So like this meta-ish approach, you know what I'm saying, like ragging on shit like sports games and Call of Duty, it's alright, you know what I'm saying? It's there, it's a little flavor thrown in the Full Dive, and it's why I definitely don't hate this show. So after she finishes her little rant, Hiroshi's like, look, you busty broad, you got my game or not? He doesn't actually say that, but it'd be funny if he did say that. And she's like, yeah, I got your game, and she hands him a copy of the game, and then she takes his money, and then he realizes that he's been bamboozled. But because she's kind of a baddie and Hiroshi's kind of a beta boy, he just rolls with it, and he goes home and he tries the game, and he has a quite interesting time, to say the very least. So if you play games in like the late 90s to early to mid 2000s, then like you probably experienced a game or two that just didn't have the greatest tutorial. And I know there are like some nostalgic buffs out there who jerk off to the idea, and they're like, oh my god, I miss when games didn't hold your hand. Shut up. 9 times out of 10, those weren't stylistic or artistic decisions to just throw you into the world and have you have no idea what was going on. It was just bad game design. If they had the skill and talent to make a competent tutorial, 9 times out of 10, the dev team would have. I bring all that up though because the game that Hiroshi gets sent into with his little new VR thing that he got conned into buying from this busty fucking game manager broad or whatever is exactly like this, and I'm pretty sure that's what like the writer was going for, because he makes it like very clear to point out to the audience how old the game is. And like, again, older RPGs didn't really have like the greatest of tutorials, and again, sometimes they were artists' decisions. They were like, just go out there, man, experience the world, figure it out yourself. But again, a lot of the times they just were incompetent and could not make good tutorials. But whatever, I digress. So Hiroshi gets in here, and it's safe to say that he's not taking it all that serious, and I mean, why would he? It's just a game, right? And he's expecting a tutorial, but he doesn't really get one. Two NPCs approach him, and they act as if that he's just like a regular character in the world, just like them, and that he should completely know what's going on, when he obviously does not. So he asked them how to achieve the one objective he was given upon entering the game, and it's safe to say the NPCs do not like this, and they think it is a terrible idea, and they will do anything to stop him from pursuing this goal because of how dangerous it is. That includes by physically stopping him. So he gets a little 2-piece and a biscuit from this chat right here, and afterwards he's sitting on the ground and he goes straight into double S mode, right? He's like, I'm sick of everyone picking on me in real life, and no, I will not let this carry over into the game. And the Chad who just got done beating his ass is like eating an apple with a knife, which is like very, very stupid and not safe. Don't do that, kids. And Hiroshi gets up and he pushes him, and he makes the guy stab himself through the throat with the knife, and he just dies. He dies. The guy just dies. Hiroshi just like killed the NPC, which is like in the lore of the game is like his childhood best friend, and yeah, this is not good. So the other NPC was the guy's sister, right? And obviously she's a little pissed because, you know, you just like killed her brother, bro. And so he runs away from her, and he finally gets away, and he hits a cut in the alley. And then finally the busty girl from the game store finally shows up, but she's a fairy. So the lady from the store also plays the game. I probably should have mentioned that, like, yeah, she was like, yeah, if you decide to like hop into the game, you should call me sometimes and we can play together, because I play the game. And for some reason, because she sells the game, she has like the unique ability to be a fairy, which is like apparently some like special character that can't be attacked by other NPCs or other monsters in the world. And it's like, it's just a BS reason to basically say, yeah, Hiroshi needs her as like a companion, but we don't want her to actually do anything or have any repercussions. So whatever, it's cool. So they meet up, and their exchange is about as humorous as their first exchange, and he gives her a little TLDR on what he's been up to and explains how he accidentally killed his best friend. And she's like, well, that's not very good, because this game runs off like, you know what I'm saying, a reactionary based storyline, and there was a storyline in mind for you to follow, but your actions can change that storyline. And since you definitely killed your best friend and that is not what the game wanted you to do, you are now going to have the title of best friend killer. Congrats. And he's obviously pissed about this, but he's like, it's fine, I can just restart the game, and that's cool. And she's like, oh no, you can't, buddy, we have autosave in this game, and you are stuck living out this storyline. And he just gets completely pissed about that, and he's so enraged that he's like, fuck it, bro, I'm logging out for the day. And then he cannot log out. And I'll admit, I rolled my eyes a little bit, and I was like, I was hoping he wouldn't have to get stuck in the game. We can't just do an isekai where like he just hops in and hops out. And she's like, oh no, it's fine, you can definitely leave the game, you just can't quit while you're in the middle of combat. So it was a nice little like twist, like, you thought we were gonna do it, but we didn't do it. So Hiroshi gets out of combat, and then the episode pretty much ends. And I gotta be honest, like, for going forward in the future, he goes on like all these little adventures, and it's kind of funny at times. Again, like the meta commentary on like gaming, and also just kind of the meta commentary on their own genre is like, it's kind of funny. I was thoroughly entertained. Is it like my favorite anime of the season? No, not by any means. But it's decent. It's decent. I see why a lot of people like Full Dive, you know what I'm saying? It's, again, in like this nice little lane of, yeah, you know what you're getting into, but it's still entertaining and pretty decent in its own right. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you do like these kind of things, then, you know what I'm saying, you can enjoy, you know what I'm saying? Full Dive might be a little good watch. That being said, though, it is weird. It has some weird moments. It's kind of quirky. It's kind of awkward at times. I'm not gonna go as far to say it's cringe at times, but it's definitely very, very anime weird. So yeah, that's Full Dive. And that's the end of the video. If you enjoy, you can go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy, you can not leave a like if you want. You can even dislike the video. That's fine. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. You can also leave a little comment telling me something. It could be related to this video, or it could just be like, hey, Awaken, I had a nice day today. And that'd be cool too. I make videos of this quality or better all the time. I'm leaving.